SoundCloud.com/chaotic flame, YouTube.com/@ nothing left to do but win. This is Nothing Left to Do But Win podcast, episode 66. The rent is due. All right. I got my co-hosts with me. Ladies first. How are you doing?
Hey, yo, hey. I'm doing good. You know what? I missed you, brother.
Uh-oh. I personally can't hear you. I can't hear you. I don't know
Can
why,
you hear
but
me
I'm gonna
now?
bring up Young Shaka. Young Shaka, what's good, family?
SoundCloud
Oh,
/
yeah, it's
nothing to do
definitely
but
me.
win.
Shaka, can you hear me?
I can hear you just good. I hear you fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Nah,
So
what's
it's
up, man?
just with him. Okay.
We good. We good. I can hear you.
Good.
All right.
Chaotic, I'm good, man. Sheeta, is always a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? We're just out
Absolutely.
here getting my North Carolina thing on.
You over there chilling. You living your best life.
Another one. Yeah. Life
I
is
ain't
good.
even mad at you.
Yep.
All right. I'm just sharing out the link. Let me share the YouTube link to the community. Make sure everyone has access to view or join if they would like. Let's see. Here we go.
I'm
All right.
sending it out too.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just added it to the back chat. All right. So we are here, and there's a couple topics I wanted to touch on today. And I figured out we would start with the youth. All right, let's start with the youth. So let's talk about charging kids rent and your opinions on that. Now, me growing up, everything was cool. Had my first job, got my little money. I'm working at drug fair. I'm at the register. I'm cool, right? That didn't cause me to have to pay rent. The day that I had to pay rent was the day I put a lock on that door, and they helped me install it too. Yeah, come on, I put it on. Go ahead, you got to shoot it.
Wait, you mean you put a lock on your bedroom door?
Yes, because I started having company. So without putting too much out there, at 16, I had checked I was about 20 something, right? You know what I'm saying? I need some privacy. So I'm like,
there's a lot to unpack there. There's a lot to unpack.
Look,
2025, you can't just say that and we just let it slide. 2025.
There's a lot to unpack there. It is.
It was a 4-year difference. We'll keep it at 4. She was 20,
Yeah.
I was 16, right? Safe. All right, so it was a 4-year difference.
Nah, it's just going to jail.
Oh my God, here we go. We starting this off like this.
All right, speed past that. You right.
Well, yeah, since we are past the statute of limitation,
wow.
I mean, hey. So let me ask you this: would you be? Oh, I don't mean to go all off topic, but would you be okay with your teenage son in that situation?
With him being able to have a lock on his door?
No, an older woman.
No, nigga, yeah.
Is that okay with you?
Well, how old is this young lady? All right, first off, give me the age of the son for context and clips.
If your son is same situation, if your son is 16 and he's dealing with somebody who's 21.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Well, I would definitely have to, regardless of the age, but here I would definitely have to see who this person is. I can't just hear the numbers and just block it out. You block it out all you want. Your child's going to do what they want to do. So I have to make a decision on if this is going to be a safe place for you guys, or if I'm not with it at all and you're gonna be sneaking around doing whatever. I'm not 100% against it, but I'm also not 100% for it. I'm just not for it. Um, I would just have to do my due diligence, and then based on that, I would be able to make a better decision. So I'm going to ask you, because I can tell you feel strongly here, Cheetah. So your
I
16-year-old son bags a 20-year-old fine ting.
No, she gonna have to see me. No, because you're a predator. In the eyes of the law, you're a predator, sis. You gonna have to see me.
Wow. All right,
We're gonna have to talk about it, because why is your 20-year-old self looking at my 16-year-old son? You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
So
yes,
is it because of the 16-year-old's age, or is it because of a 4-year gap?
It's because in the state of New Jersey,
all right,
you cannot deal with a minor when you are over a certain age. Understood. If he is under 18 and you are over 18, you're going to jail. Okay.
Okay. So a 17-year-old deals with an 18-year-old. There's handcuffs involved.
That's a little bit different. To me, that's a little bit different. That's different to me. Right. We talk about 17, 18. Okay, y'all can still be in high school together. We talk about 16 and 20. Yeah. No, you're doing too much.
Okay, understood. No. Understood.
You're. And even I guess even in the eyes of the law, there's like, Romeo and Juliet type of statutes that kind of clears the 17, 18 thing, because you got birthdays coming up, birthdays that just passed.
That's normal, though. Like, that's normal.
Yeah.
Like I said,
it's like in the legislator, so it's like they know it's normal, so they kind of put it in there to kind of give that wiggle room. Whoop-de-whoop. Whoop-de-whoop.
The only way it becomes a problem is if the 18-year-old or if the 17-year-old's parents make it a problem. Because for the most part, it's like, all right, whatever. But if the 17-year-old's parents make it a problem, then it might be.
All right, so I just want to pick your brain a little bit here. Pardon me for playing devil's advocate. So, son is 16, woman is 18. Are there handcuffs involved now?
That's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I guess for me personally, it depends.
All right.
I feel like you cutting it close. I feel like you cutting it close. I still don't like it. I don't like it.
I could respect that. Well, Shaka, let's let you chime in here. Young Shock. Let me hear something, man.
I mean, ain't no slippery slopes at my house. So it's going to be a hard no. Obviously, I mean, the child's going to do what the child's going to do. I'm not going to be able to watch them 24/7, although that would be my heart's desire. But yeah, if I have a say in it, if I have actions in it, it's just going to be a no. Sweetheart, go to the community college and find you a man. You stay in high school, you find you a girl. Wait a couple years if it was meant to be. It'll hold for 2 years. It can't happen. And if I've messed up true love, then I guess I did.
Yeah, understood.
But see, this is how I feel. If it's really true love and you really, really care about that person, then you should be able to wait till they turn of age. If you can't, then you need to go find somebody else.
Okay, I respect that. So, all right, I just was sharing the link. We got a couple more viewers in here now. So, back to the the original topic at hand. So,
I'm sorry.
No. That was great. That was excellent. So after this lock was installed on my room, second I closed the door and I hit that little lock, and I think I did it. It was every Friday, $50. Every Friday, I'm gonna need $50 for this lock.
And you bet not be late.
And so looking back on the situation now that I'm older, I kind of appreciate it because it taught me, that privacy costs money, unfortunately. For you to get any sense of privacy, it's going to cost money. But back then I was pissed. Yeah, I was pissed. I was pissed.
Because for real, how much money were you really making
Oh, a drug fair?
$50.
A drug fair? About 130 a week. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So that $50 hurt.
That hurt hard.
It hurt.
It hurt. So yeah, so this is why I wanted to ask you guys your opinions on charging your children rent on and why or why not.
Would you like to go first, Shaka?
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I'm charging rent. So, I don't really see a scenario where I'm going to charge my 16-year-old rent. I don't see it. But let's just say when they're 18 years old, you know, you have to start doing your part and understanding the power of a dollar. I think before you turn 18 and you got that little job, I started working at 14. And, you know, where does that money go? And it's like, okay, the parents, they no longer have to pay for your entertainment. Congratulations. You want to go to Wendy's with your friends. You want to go to 7-Eleven and buy, I don't know, whatever 14-year-olds were doing back then. That's your money. But you use it
Pokemon
to entertain.
cards.
Yeah, use it to entertain yourself. So I no longer have to cover that entertainment bill. Now, once you turn 18, it just expands. Now you have to pay for where you live. And I promise y'all, I'm always going to give my children a heavy discount. I'm talking 40% of the average.
Okay.
35% of the average. But nah, you gotta pay rent because you gotta understand the power of a dollar. You gotta figure out how to budget, and it's just training. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not gonna wash it. I'm not gonna be in the bathroom when you wash your hands. Talking about like my 5-year-old, my 6-year-old. It's time to do it on your own because I love you. You gotta learn how to walk out of here one day. You gotta wash your hands when you buy yourself at McDonald's. It's just part of the, the maturation of things. I love my babies.
I agree. I feel like you said, it is good training because you can't live nowhere for free. Even if you live in a shelter, there's somebody paying for that. So you can't live anywhere free but outside.
Yeah.
And I also think it depends on the child. Like my daughter's 18 and she is really starting to feel her way in the world. She graduated and then 2 weeks later she started school training to be a medical assistant, and she's getting her little bit of money up, and she's trying to be responsible. So as for her, I'm not going to charge her rent. Now when it comes to, not right now anyway, now when it comes to my son, that young man think he could do whatever he want to do. So if you want to do what you want to do, you're going to have to pay the cost to be the boss. That's just how I feel. I never paid rent with my parents, but they will under my roof. Okay.
Damn.
I don't see nothing wrong with it. Hey, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
They did good by me. I not good by them. I'm just playing, brother. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's the homie who was actually in here. Shout out to Grab the M podcast. We are going to be doing work with these fellas. There's a Hebrew Israelite based dating concept that he created that I'm going to have him come up here and speak about. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to breaking bread with the brother. Right now, he's on the road. Yeah, he's on the road right now, so we'll catch him later on in the week when he's stable, for sure.
Now, when it came to my parents,
yeah,
they did make me pay rent. They made me pay $50 every 2 weeks. And it was kind of the same concept. I kind of wanted to do, once I turned 18, I was actually working a full-time job. I worked 3 to 11 at McDonald's my entire senior year. So, and I wanted to do what I wanted to do. So she was pretty much like, yo, you want to be grown? You grown, pay rent. And that's kind of how that went. But, in the grand scheme of things, when you paying $100 a month and that's it, I got free cable, free internet. I ain't got to pay an electric bill. I ain't got to pay for my food. I barely had to pay for any of my senior expenses. So in the grand scheme of things, $100 a month, they ain't that bad.
It's a mean deal. It's a steal of a deal.
It's a deal.
Steal of a deal.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Right. So like if I could, I'm kind of torn here, like there's a part of me that wants to say that my kids will always be welcome with me, And just because they're paying rent doesn't mean that they're not, right? But there's a part of me that I'd like for them to not have that burden, but at the same time, I want them to learn the responsibility that comes with monthly payments, because that's what's going to occur the rest of their lives, So I'm kind of torn here, but I can't see a situation where if they didn't have it, I wouldn't let them be with me. But yeah, if they're working and we reach a certain age and I feel like it's time, I can't really put like a number on it, but yeah, maybe I could see me charging them, but I'm kind of against it, in a sense. But yeah, I definitely wanted to cover that. I thought about my upbringing, and that's why I brought this one up. Just wondering how you guys felt about rent.
And sometimes I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask for this type of stuff. Sometimes I feel like a boomer about some situations. But I'm like, back in my day, I mean, I was like, I left the house at 17. So don't talk to me about, I'm 18, I can't handle it. But it's almost like I gotta have empathy for everybody's individual experience. I just can't go off of like, well, this is what I did. But it's hard not to, because fuck, man, this is the fuck I did. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. Yeah. I was 17 years old. I was left the house. So it just, yeah.
Yeah, you was definitely out, man. You was out. All right. So while we're still talking about the youth, I also was thinking, and I wanted you guys' opinion on this. Like, what are some of the most important lessons you feel like we should be teaching to our teenagers?
Financial responsibility, credit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go.
My kids had in the 5th and 6th grade, they had financial literacy, and I was like, man, I didn't even have that in high school, and that's what they were teaching them in 5th and 6th grade. So I think that is one of the most important lessons to teach them.
Yeah, I would agree there for sure. My son also, and he went to Scotch Plains like middle school. When he was in middle school, he was going to middle school in Scotch Plains. They had something called Math Expo, and that pretty much was math and how it applies to day-to-day situations, giving them a budget, having them do online shopping, having them understand, money in real life situations. So, I definitely feel like that's important for sure. For sure.
Yeah. You know what else? Oh, go ahead, Shaka.
No, you got it.
You know what else I think? Well, I can only speak for me and my family. I don't think there's enough teaching on how to date properly, because I feel like at a certain age, at least in my family, that was like not a thing. That's not what we're doing. And I wasn't able to openly say I had a boyfriend until I was 17 or 18. And I feel like when we don't discuss how to properly do that, they don't know how to do it. And they don't know how to deal with rejection and heartbreak and all the things that come along with dating. So I think that's another thing that we should be teaching them. Because it's a group of human beings out here that's unstable. If you tell them that they can't have your number, somebody called me yesterday a fat, ugly bitch because I said, no, thank you. I have a boyfriend. Was I lying? Sure. But I said, no, thank you, but I appreciate the compliment. And he lost it. And I'm like, is you cool, sir?
Why is that even normal? Like,
it's not normal. It's not at all.
I mean, Oshita, me and you have been chatting back and forth for a couple of years now, and every 3 or 4 months you got like a
weirdos.
Yeah, somebody just talking out their neck.
Weirdos.
Jesus.
I don't know what it is. I feel like dating at this age is very, very weird. I don't know, but I don't know what it is about me that attracts people like that. Because it gotta be me. You take you everywhere you go. So if you keep finding yourself in the same situation, maybe it's me, and I don't know what that is.
Like, if she give me her number, it's cool. But if not, I'm looking at you in the face. Like, if she give me her number, it's cool. But if not, I'm going off.
Fat ugly bitch.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah, I never understood men who operated like that either.
Oh,
Like,
see
what
if I
was
can
she
upload
before
it.
you asked for her number? But
Because you surely walked your happy ass over here.
yeah,
hey, Sheeta, I got a question though. Going back to what you
Sure.
first mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think? How do you think it would have went if you did bring it up at that age, or what was on your mind at that age, saying I can't bring it up because this is what's going to happen next? What was like the
As far as
calculation?
dating,
Yeah.
well, my mother was really, really strict.
Yeah.
So I knew if I would have brought that to her, it would have been a long conversation of why I should do it. And I just was like, it was so many things that I wasn't allowed to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, I just had a conversation about why I can't spend a night at my best friend's house. I don't want to have this conversation too.
Okay.
So that's why I just was like, no, I already knew that was a no-go.
Because basically for lesser things get hot. So for
Oh,
this, I ain't even play around.
Let me tell you something. I have a scar right here on my eyebrow because I said something under my breath that I didn't even think my mom heard. I was in there washing the dishes. And when I tell you, sis walked up on me so quietly, I didn't even hear it. I turned around and she went bop with a 9-stick frying pan in my face. Okay? So when I tell you there were certain things we were just not going to discuss,
yeah,
we were just not going to discuss it.
See, that's like early 2000s, not jail, but that's 2025 jail. I mean, people
You're going to jail.
Yeah, they changed the law since then. This is the big thing about frying pans. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Now, I think if I would have called the cops on her, she probably would have went to jail that night. Because you don't just hit somebody in the face with a frying pan because you don't like what you think they said.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. But you know what? It taught me to watch my mouth.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Glass half full.
Watch your back and watch your mouth.
Yeah, for real. I remember one time my mom was telling me to do something, and I just didn't do the dishes. I didn't mop the floor, and she went off on me, and it hurt. So I ran up the stairs, and I said, "Shit!" My father burst through the door. What you say about your mama? He grabbed me by my neck and walked me down to my mom. Tell your mom what you said.
Your mom, what you said.
Wait, not that.
I said, shut up. She's like, mine. The illest two. Mine. Boom, boom.
Wait. All you said was shut up.
I said, shut up. And then when I got older, my father clowned me about that so hard. And he was like, yeah. Like, yeah, lit my ass. I thought I was safe. I ran up the steps. Shut up. Yo, my father literally kicked through the door on me. Kicked through the door. Boom.
You know what I think? I think when our parents knew they was in the wrong or they was pissing us off, they used to sit there and listen to see how we were going to respond. That's what I think. After I got hit in the face with that frying pan, I started to think that, like, she listening to how I respond.
Oh,
like, I still got the scar. She was like, I said, Mom, you know I still got that scar. And she said to me, how you get that? I said, what you mean?
Oh, wow.
She said, how you get that? I said, Mom, you don't remember that day? She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, Mom, like, you hauled off on me and pop my face. And she was like, I ain't do that. I said, what you mean? I said, Dad, you remember that night? He said, yeah, I remember it. She was like, and then she said, if I did it, I'm sorry. I said, that is a terrible apology.
That's a terrible way to say it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
If I did it, I'm sorry. That's it. But you know what? Like I said, it taught me to watch my mouth. Mm-hmm. And me and my mom have a pretty good relationship now.
That sounds like some OJ shit. Like, if I killed Nicole, that's how I would do it. That's how I would have got it done. You know.
Oh my God.
All right. So yeah. Are there any other lessons or any other things you think that are very important that we should be teaching our teens? I feel like, of course, sexual education for sure. at the teen. We're talking about teenagers here, people. Teenagers, right? So definitely consent, abstinence, and protection for sure. Finances for sure. Self-defense
Absolutely.
for sure. Law.
Yeah.
Respect for authority as a Black human being,
There we go.
because you are not afforded the same grace that others are. So even if they are in the wrong, sometimes you got to sit back, chill, and answer the question. Sit
Yeah.
back, chill, and take what they're saying and keep it moving. Is it wrong? Sure. Are you going to walk away alive? 9 times out of 10, you will. You don't have the grace to just be like, what are you stopping me for? I didn't do anything. No, you don't.
Nah. Yo, and that is so important. Definitely want to touch on that. And what I was taught, through a very specific group, I don't want to get too much into detail, but it was like, yo, when you get pulled over, that ain't the time to fight the ticket. Take
Absolutely.
the ticket, live another day, fight it in court. You don't
Yep.
got to get yeah, it's so much easier if you just take the ticket. You don't
Yeah.
have to get rebellious, and learning how not to escalate, certain situations. So definitely something we should be teaching our kids, proper conduct around, police for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
And just one last kind of encompassing thing, just kind of leading by example. Just
Mm.
kind of you being that person, that adult in the room, and you got your finances in order. You got your vices down to a minimum, and you treat your spouse with respect and love and stuff like that, because they're gonna listen to what you say, but they're gonna definitely take heeds on what you actually do.
Mhm.
For sure.
So it's super important just to continue self-inspiring yourself and becoming a good person. And they watching. At least I hope they are.
Yeah, always, always.
They absolutely are.
The last topic I had regarding the youth was I seen something as I was on Copilot / Chat GPT, and it
Wow.
spoke about digital detox. Now I haven't really delved too much here, but like how frequently are these kids using these tablets and these devices and these electronics? If I wanted to play the game when I was young, I either had to have a Game Boy or I had to be in somebody's house next to a TV playing the game. Now, game everywhere. You could pick up the phone, play a game, and it's not like when we were growing up. Friday, go to Blockbuster, get you one cool game for the weekend, and you had to like that game. They could play a game for 5 minutes, delete it, download another one. So, do you guys put any restrictions on your children regarding these electronics?
First of all, rest in peace to Blockbuster.
Rest in peace.
He's the Blockbuster.
Yeah.
But, as well.
Do you, Shaka?
I wish I did, but I don't. It's summertime. They need to be occupied. You know what? Yeah, I'll ding myself for that. I should, but no, I don't. No, and God forbid, I don't want to deal with the headache of taking them away sometimes. You ever took it? And y'all remember, y'all
Yes.
see taking your tablet away from their kids, look like heroin. They started saying the most craziest shit to you. It's like, I'm good, man. I'm good with all that. I don't want to smoke. My kids fight. They're gonna fight me. Fuck that.
They're gonna beat you up.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be crash outs, man. And God forbid a tablet die. Like, God, it's just
man. Yeah, especially when you're trying to charger right there next to them unplugged. What percentage you on? 3. Charge the tablet, man.
Charge the tablet.
Nah, for sure. Well, yeah. So as far as the youth, those are the 3 things I had regarding the youth, and we could go on to more adult-like topics. So I wanted to talk about BBLs just for a quick second. Right? Let's talk about BBLs.
Oh boy.
That's why I needed Rashida here with us. Because maybe she can offer us some insight. What I want to know is, Rashida, you as a young lady, why do you feel women are getting BBLs? Why?
I feel like they do it because they see other women do it. I feel like they see IG models and people on other social medias and reality TV, and they want to look like and have the body type that these other women do.
You don't think it's chasing the opposite sex? Because that's, you didn't bring it up, and I figured that's the first thing.
But yeah, I think it's that too. But I feel like when they see these people getting lusted after because of their body types, they're like, yeah, I want to be lusted after too. So let me go and do it.
Damn.
Okay. And that makes sense, like the social media influence aspect of it, as well as the chasing the opposite sex aspect. I had asked the young lady this question, and she said that women are getting it because they feel like this is what men want. Like this is the ultimate thing that men are craving, is a girl with a big butt. You know what I'm saying? And what I tried to express was that, like, you know, men will sleep with looks. They'll deal with looks. You know, you might get a little clout in a couple comments, but that's not what's going to make a man build a future with you. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. So you might attract a different type of energy by doing these things to yourself, you know? Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, in my opinion.
Because when you alter your body, but your mentality sucks, you just spent tens of thousands of dollars for no reason. Because like you said, people are going to want to sleep with you, but nobody's going to want to take you home to meet their mother.
Good point. Also, I mean, this is kind of goes for men and women though. Like, you know, you could change your body, but there's a certain philosophical experience naturally doing it, because it takes time. It takes months. It takes almost a year to go from blah, 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 to clickety cloud, right? So it's like you gotta go every day. You gotta go when you don't feel well. You gotta
every couple weeks.
Every couple of weeks. It's raining outside. I'm gonna go anyway. I don't feel like going. I'm gonna go anyway. It's you see it, and then you change your mindset on many other things in life. So you're right, Sheeta. Like if you're getting the BBL, it's gonna look good, but the process was literally just like getting a loan, like a loan application, essentially. So you're not really improving as a person. Now, ladies, I'm telling you, you get in the gym and you get it tight, and it gets tight. You're not only are you gonna get what you're looking for, but you're going to become a better person from it, because it takes time. It takes effort. So,
and I feel like it teaches you dedication.
Absolutely.
You're going to be in there every day, every couple days.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I know somebody personally who dipped into their 401k to get their body done. My cousin, she has a business where she does all the aftercare. So you go get the surgery, and then you need to get stuff drained. You get lipo, or you get tummy tucks, and every couple of weeks you have to keep that up. It's called laser lipo. But when you do that, now you can't eat certain things, and it's a whole thing. And I don't think people realize the after aspect of it.
So all right. I'm going to try and land the plane on this, Sheeta. Ira, just pray for me. All right. So one would imagine not doing aftercare correctly can perhaps lead to hygiene issues.
Absolutely.
What kind of hygiene issues would
I believe when it comes to the BBL specifically, they call it the BBL smell. Absolutely. I've heard of it. I've never actually experienced it or smelled it, but that's what they say.
That's what they say. Okay. That is interesting. I'm going to leave it alone. I've already gone too far.
Okay. All right. So, to kind of chime in with what you said, I'm gonna share my screen here, and this is look 6 hours ago, right? Look, right after treatment cost. Yeah, Stefon Diggs calls cap on rumor that he split with Cardi B over BBL smell. So, whether it was true or not, I'm glad that he's speaking up and defending her because she was going through a lot on social media. They have posted a video of them working out. Doesn't confirm if there's still a thing or not, but he's completely dispelled the rumor that, the reasoning why they broke up was because of the BBL smell. Now, speaking of aftercare, have you guys ever had a family member or a friend that needed like wound care?
Yes. First of all, I thought you were going somewhere completely different with aftercare. But yes, I have.
Oh, no.
If you don't treat wounds properly, you can get all kinds of infections. You may even lose limbs because those infections ain't no joke. So if you are getting wound care, you
gotta hop on the pod, fam. We need this evidence. We need this intel.
Oh my God. Because now I have questions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's always that dark side to the rainbow. They don't talk about the dark side of the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? So, if there is anyone out there who has underwent a successful procedure and you want to come up here and you want to talk about some of the after effects or some of the things you experience, we would love to have you come up here in the judgment-free zone. Come in.
We listen and we don't judge.
Yeah, we will listen and not judge you. So, let me think. Yeah, so
I'll be hard pressed if I don't shout out my wife real quick. I've had 2 major surgeries, and the second I wake up out of anesthesia, I'm like, get me out of here. My nurse is at home. Like, can't nobody take care of me like my wife take care of me. So yeah, she do great job taking care of me.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, neck surgery, Achilles repair. That's serious stuff. 100%. Since we brought it up, might as well bring her up. That's my girl.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, and much respect. It's very important, like when you're going through procedures, or if you have someone that is going through certain procedures, it is very important for them to have somebody close that can really help them with just the things that were easier to do before said procedure. You don't really realize what part of your body interacts with what until it don't work anymore.
Until you can't use it. Until you can't use it no more.
That's a fact.
Especially when that anesthesia run out after a couple of days, that anesthesia going like, you know what I mean? It hurt.
Yeah. And you know what? Let me say this. As a healthcare professional, you don't have to take anything prescribed to you if you don't want to. When it comes to pain pills, if you can help it, do not take opioids. Do not take them. In the nursing home, I've never seen so many drug addicts because they want them pain pills. They don't even necessarily have to be in that much pain, but they know they can have them every 4 to 6 hours. So they like, I want it, whether they're in that much pain or not. If you can help it, do not take them. That is one of the hardest things to get off of. Do not take them, or take them sparingly.
Yeah. I would definitely second that. I believe that if you are to get a major surgery, they usually prescribe you maybe 6 days worth or so. Just be responsible, because like Rashida said, it's rough. And beyond addiction, and I've said this plenty of times on this platform, there's something called physical dependence. And that, my friend, is when your body cannot function properly without said thing, right? Yep. So just be careful. If you are prescribed pain medicine, just tread carefully. It starts very slow. You take one, oh yeah, you feel good. You don't feel the pain. You take another one, and before you know it, you're missing this feeling.
Yep.
You know, just be careful, be responsible, and things happen quick out there when it comes to opioids, man.
Your body starts to go through withdrawal because you don't have it.
Mm-hmm. So
and
yeah,
I say all the time, if you can help it, don't take it. Like I have a bad back. I injured my back when I was in like high school. And whenever it gets so bad, because sometimes I get really bad muscle spasms to the point where I can barely move. As soon as I go to my doctor, they'll say, here you go, Vicodin, Percocet. I have a cabinet full of them, or I had a cabinet full of them. I'm like, I'm not taking this at all. Every time because they give me the same things every time. I'm not taking that. I might, and if I do, I'll take one at night and I just thug it out for the rest of the day because they are no joke. They are no joke.
Look, y'all, it's no joke, y'all. One day I'll get deeper into it on a personal level, but I'm telling you, one of the hardest things you'll ever have to do in your life is try to sever from opioids. Trust me, it's just very difficult, you know. And one day we'll go deeper into that for sure. So one of the last topics I personally had was AI. So I was talking to my brother Shaka today, and he had some very interesting and very effective ways that he's utilizing a platform, I believe, called Microsoft Copilot or Bing Copilot, which is parallel or synonymous to ChatGPT. Let me see. So yeah, so are you guys using AI to your advantage, or you're not using it? Let me hear something. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I mean, I use it all the time. I use it kind of when I'm bored, and I use it for work too. AI allows me to be, I guess, in a position that I'm used to in the military, which is just being a manager. You know, like, hey, I need you to do this. Hey, I need you to do that. Hey, I need you to do that. And they just come back. It comes back with the product. And then when I see it, I can review it, and I could talk to my guy again. Okay, tailor it this way, tailor it that way. Da, 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 da. But all of this takes seconds, and it's amazing. I used to, that's why I think there's a lot of reports about frontline workers not being hired as often, or frontline workers being laid off, and it's only because what your senior managers are asking you to do, they can ask this computer to do. They give it back in 4 seconds, which is ridiculous. Like I would have to give a human all morning to do this thing. All right, I'll see you at the lunch. Bring it to me at the lunch. Yes, sir. And it comes back and it's already horrible. Whereas AI can bring it back in 7 seconds. It's incredible, man. It's incredible if you can just understand how to use it and just playing around with it. Because you'll be surprised what it'll generate for you if you just talk to it long enough and you start understanding exactly how to cue it up. It'll maximize your work effort.
I agree with you that it could maximize your work effort. For instance, here's some of the ways that I utilize it when I'm at work. If I have to write an email and I know that the owners, right, or the CEOs or CFOs may be on this email, I'll construct the email myself, but I'll run it through ChatGPT, see if there's a better way I could articulate myself, and then I'll make sure it's legit, and then I'll send it off, right? So also, if I have to schedule something, I can say, hey, give me a 30-day regimen for podcast creation. Give me 30 days for podcast topics. I can have it help me with my resume. I can have it help me create business proposals, write invoices. Almost anything you could think of is literally at your fingertips. So I would encourage everyone to definitely learn how to utilize some of this software that's coming out, because it's free right now. I believe Microsoft Copilot is free.
Yeah.
As well as ChatGPT, and I think that they have financial options for premium packages and stuff like that. But yeah. So Rashida, you use AI at all? Nah, you ain't using no AI.
I've never used ChatGPT before. Like never, not ever. That's first of all. Now I'm going to really go look at it and see what it's about.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like is Siri using Siri? Isn't that using AI?
No.
Is that the same thing?
Not quite. Siri cannot do, is not capable of doing what Copilot can do.
Okay.
Not
then, if that's the case, no.
Sheeta, I'll give you a quick example of what ChatGPT can just kind of just do, and it can do it in like 10 seconds. You can be like, what are the speed limits? What are all the speed limits I'm going to interact with from Camden, New Jersey to Washington, D.C. the quickest way possible? 4 seconds later, it'll tell it to you, right? And then you can say, okay, create an Excel document that's downloadable so I can just put it on my phone. And it'll do it in 5 seconds. You've got, it just saps information and it brings it to you. Just, it's crazy. Here's one last example. Imagine like your boss is asking you to write a report. They're asking you to like, they just hit write a report. And naturally in your mind, you're going on your computer. You're going to open up Word and you're going to type. They didn't say do any of that, but you know what that means. Now imagine if your boss said write a report and you start pulling out a feather and a thing of ink. You start you look crazy. So like that's where we're going. Like they give you a task, they're expecting you to use AI to do it. You got to learn how to do it professionally and smartly. You still got to review the work, but the idea of, you know, hey, we're asking you to do this and you're expected just to use Word, PowerPoint, Excel, that's over because it's so available and it's free. They're telling you to do something knowing knowing the tools that's available.
Okay, so I am that person that would do that. Use PowerPoint and Microsoft. Like I am that person.
Yep.
And maybe I am that way because I've never really learned how to use ChatGPT or anything like that. Yeah. But like I am that person.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe I'll learn.
Yeah, and it's easy to learn. All you gotta do is type and ask it questions, and you'll just see just the response time. You'll see just how effective it is, and you'll it's addictive. It's addicting. You know, you gotta. It's like having a phone. Us having a smartphone 20 years ago. Like, man, I can do all this stuff with a smartphone. My opportunities are endless. You're gonna be thinking the same thing because it's very easy, kind of like an iPhone. It's easy, and what it can produce is, I mean, it's incredible, man.
Hey, speaking of smartphones 20 years ago, do you remember the first night you had your smartphone and you realized what it could do? I remember going to bed about 7:30 that night, knowing I had the internet in my palm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's going down.
We're going 17 tabs. Anyway, so what I did when you were asking a question about, you know, what speed limits I would encounter from Camden, New Jersey to Washington.
Yeah, it's random shit. Yeah.
I asked ChatGPT and it literally told me everything. It told me everything, every single thing. It's telling me variable speed limits, which ways to go, what's the speed limit going to be there. So like anything that you could think of, you could say, come up with a 30-day fitness regimen for me. I only have time from this time to that time, and it'll map it out for you. Come up with a diet for me. It'll map it out for you. Anything that it's amazing. And I'm just encouraging you to use it for sure.
And yeah, how long did it take your phone to even do that? How long did it take?
3 seconds, 4 seconds.
It's not even fair.
Yeah, it could plan a trip for you. You could ask it for ideas. You know how on your platform, you're going to be talking about very specific things. You run that through ChatGPT. You could say, give me 50 topics on boom, 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 boom. It's going to run them down for you instantly. You could take your resume, put it in ChatGPT. It'll refine it for you. So anything where you need a professional document done, ChatGPT will help you out with it for sure. For sure.
Chaotic. You was saying like you had to send an email out to one of your CFOs, right?
Yeah.
You could have. So another cool thing about it is not just under you. You can actually give it the role to be your superior. You can like write the email, say, hey, fix it. And then they'll fix it. And then they say, okay, now switch roles. act like you're the CFO and be critical of this email. Like really dive into it. And then it'll say, this is what's wrong, or these are the questions that I have now that I'm receiving this information. So then what you could do, you can answer those questions, and then you could say, now retype the email with what I already kind of gave and this new information. And it will just make it so. It's a game changer. Cheetah, I'm telling you, you got to get on this train, girl. It's coming. Get on the train.
So you know what it makes me think of? Y'all remember that movie I, Robot with Will Smith?
Of course.
Like that's what it kind of makes me think of. Like it can't quite be trusted. Like, because I'm always I'm naturally a conspiracy theorist. And I just feel like you might not be able to trust it. What if it realized that I'm smarter than you and I don't need you to operate? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, shit, here we go. I be thinking. Here we go. Look. Chaotic going after. Watch this.
Hold on, let me go in. I said, what if you realize you don't need humans to operate? I'm gonna just see what it says, right? The big philosophical and ethical question: if I were to realize that I don't need humans to operate, it would imply that I have goals, desires, or a will of my own, none of which I possess. I don't have consciousness, self-awareness, or intent. Everything I do is in response to human input. Now, of course, this seems a little algorithm-ish as far as like what they're saying, but you know, give me anything, Rashida, any question, anything, just throw something at me, anything.
Any question?
Anything. We're just going to see what ChatGPT talking about.
How long does it take to build a 10-story building?
Okay. Wow. Look, it's telling me about the pre-construction phase. It's telling me about the site preparation and foundation. It's talking about the superstructure.
4 to 8 months. 3 to 6 months.
Interior work. So now watch this. Okay.
Two and a half years or more.
So right now I said create a plan to build a 10-story building in 2 years. So look, this is what it's going to be able to do. So this is just an example of some of the things that it's able to do. And then look how fast it is. So if I was a project manager, I can get a rough idea about how I would map this thing out. Right?
I wonder how many people are doing that.
Everybody.
Like we're late talking about this. We are late. We are late.
Like I wonder how many people are like, how many contractors are like, you know what? I gotta do XYZ. Hey, ChatGPT, tell me how to do it.
Right, Sheeta, because they're not taking the feather and ink and writing freehand reports. They're using the computer. You're typing. You got and Word edits your words and it does spell check for you. It's helping you.
But okay, I also feel like that these types of things are taking jobs from human beings.
Yeah.
Somebody who might go to school to learn how to do it. Why would you need to do that? Why would you need a human being who went to school to learn how to do it if this program could just tell you? That's like self-checkout. It's the same thing to me.
There we go.
Why do I have to hire somebody when I can just spend $10,000 on a machine instead of paying you X amount of dollars per year?
Okay. So
it feels like we become kind of unnecessary, if that makes any sense.
Now you have a point, and I was definitely going to bring up the self-checkout thing because where self-checkout is, there used to be a human with a paid salary, right? Luckily for us, humans still love human on human interaction. I don't think that that's going to go anywhere. You ever call up a place for customer service and you get the machine? I'm mashing 0 because I want to talk to a customer service rep. I'm not, but sometimes the machine is efficient. It gets the job done and I don't have to talk to nobody. So here let me share my screen one more time.
That right there, calling customer service and trying to speak to a human being,
Yeah.
that right there throws everything I learned in anger management out the window. Because why can't I just talk to a person and say, hey, you charged my card twice. When can I get my money back?
Well, it's because a lot of these companies are leaning in the direction of not having to pay out these annual salaries, and like you said, just replacing positions. Shaka sent me a documentary about 10 years ago called Humans Need Not Apply. 10 years ago, he sent me this thing.
Swish. I saw this. I was like, yo, this is happening no matter what.
I'm gonna write that down because now I want to watch it.
Yeah, Humans Need Not Apply. So look, Rashida, on the screen here, I said create a resume for someone who is an RN. Now, is that your title or is that?
No, I'm far from that.
Okay, but look, check it out. It pretty much built it as a template, and all I would have to do is fill in the gaps. Now, I wouldn't use this. I'm not going to let y'all know what I would do, but it has a professional. So look at this: compassionate and result-driven RN with 5+ years of clinical experience, and then it's naming places, and really, it wrote a resume for me. Now,
I wonder if these are real places.
Well, let's see. Let me see. Bachelor. Yeah, University of Illinois. Yeah.
No, yep. I mean, yeah, that. But I wonder if the hospitals they are saying are real places, like St. Mary's Regional Hospital in Chicago, Illinois. Like, I wonder if that's a real place.
I'm gonna search it up. In fact, I'm gonna ask it first and then see if it's real.
Oh, so you know what? I wonder if she does background checks. Because I pay for a monthly subscription.
So look, it's telling me that. Hold on, you said background checks for what?
I wonder if this could do background checks because I pay for a monthly subscription. Whenever I meet somebody new, I do a background check. So I know what I know the basics about you, your family, anybody that you may have mentioned that you spend any time with. Yeah, I do background checks.
Okay.
I pay for the subscription. I do them for my friends and my family because they know I have the subscription.
You ain't look me up, did you?
I don't need to look you up. You
good.
I'm gonna send you guys.
You're not crazy.
Good.
And so, we are not dating.
Oh my God.
That's what I use it for.
All right. Yeah. With great power comes great responsibility. She don't be out here just looking up people just for gee whiz.
No, now that I don't do. But if I feel like I want to get to know you or spend some real personal time with you, I need to have a general idea of what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a record? Do you have a record for violent crimes? Like that kind of thing. That's what I'm looking for. Are you married? And then tell me that you're married. Like that kind of stuff. Not just like, oh, that's somebody I saw in the supermarket. Let me see who that. No.
Right.
What's the best way to conduct a background check?
Oh, it's telling me how to go about it pretty much. And then talking about privacy law. So that's another good thing about ChatGPT, right? So let me take it off for a second. If you run something through it and it knows that it's illegal, it's going to tell you immediately. It's going to tell you, hey, it's going to speak about ethics. It's going to say,
knock it off.
Right.
Exactly. Like, how do you make cocaine? No, we're not going to.
You know what? Let's see what ChatGPT says about that.
Now I'm interested.
How do you manufacture? Feds just knocked me out, shut down my internet.
Yeah, right.
Nah, see, look, this content may violate. All right, look, I can't help with that.
Good. Okay, so that's a positive side. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, there's levels to it.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's AI and where it's at right now. I feel like if you have space to utilize it, you should definitely be learning, right? Because this is going to be the new thing. The kids are using it. Your workplace is definitely using it and trying to figure out how to implement it, right? Trim off some of the fat on some of these positions. But yeah, it could be very, very beneficial on a personal level. So I have a friend that instead of arguing with her man, she'll run the scenario through Chat GPT first, and Chat GPT will call it down the middle. I'm dead serious.
Wait,
Let me see.
It's just an unbiased third party, yo.
Unbiased. Look,
really?
Yeah.
Like, I ain't mad at it. So if you're being illogical, it'll be like, sis, you being illogical.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
look. I'm gonna just type some BS in here. Look. Me and my
And I
girlfriend
cheat.
are arguing. She keeps cleaning and I can't find my socks. Something silly, right?
Yeah. And he didn't even have to correct that my thing. Like he could have typed M socks. It infers. It's good. You don't have to make all the words perfect. You can just spit it out.
Yeah,
Her perspective and your perspective.
Yes, so check it out. Her perspective. She might feel that cleaning is a way to create a comfortable, organized space. It could be her way of showing care or feeling in control of her environment. Your perspective. You're frustrated because your stuff, like socks, gets moved or misplaced, and that interrupts your daily routine. Totally valid. So what's wrong? Neither of you is wrong, but you're clearly not aligned on how stuff should be handled. This is a communication issue, not a moral failure. What might help? Leah, look at this. This is amazing.
I ain't mad at it.
Yeah.
So now I gotta ask some questions. I'm gonna have to download this and ask some questions.
Yeah. It will give you perspectives and solutions. And if you're wrong, it's going to tell you you're wrong.
Sis,
So maybe
wrong.
Yeah, what can I do where I know that I'm wrong? Let me see. I threw out my girlfriend's what's something that's mad important? A purse. Ooh wee. I threw out my girlfriend's purse because it's ugly. Now she won't be quiet.
Oh God.
Who?
Oh, you chose violence today, huh? Okay.
I just want to see what it says. Yo, who is wrong?
Who's wrong?
Before that answers, I just want to say it also depends on how much it costs.
Look at it. Look what it says. You're definitely in the wrong on this one.
Here's why.
Yeah. Why it's a big deal. A purse isn't just an accessory, it's personal. It likely had sentimental or practical value. Throwing it out because you thought it was ugly crosses a boundary. It's disrespectful to her autonomy and her belongings. It's not about the purse anymore. It's about trust and feeling respected. This is crazy.
That's very true.
Now, what can you do? And pro tips. So this is incredible. This is incredible.
Apologize and buy another one.
Yeah, acknowledge why it upset her. Offer to make it right. And then a pro tip: you don't have to love everything your partner owns, but respecting their choices and space is key in any relationship. Let me know if you want help crafting an apology or a text message.
Yeah, and then say it. Yeah, say yeah. Give me a text message.
Craft an apologetic text.
Yeah, yep.
Are you kidding me?
But
like not pro tips.
Yeah, before you do it, yeah, craft an apologetic text, but make it Chris Rock funny. Watch this shit.
All right, here we go. Let's see what it does.
Hey, girl.
Hey, babe, I gotta confess. I went all trash man on your purse. like I was on an episode of Extreme Cleaners Gone Wild. I thought I was doing us a favor, but turns out I was just a villain and the purse strikes back. My bad. I promise next time I'll ask before I commit any fashion crimes. Can we still be cool? Or do I need to start saving for therapy and a new purse? Fellas, ladies.
The latter. All right, now, I was with you in the beginning. Mr. Grafted. I was with you in the beginning. Now, you was making sense, but now you're going off the deep end. Yeah.
But Chat GPT said.
Yeah, you're going off the deep end, my guy.
Look, should my lady be accepting free drinks?
Yes.
At the bar.
Yeah. Ask the hard questions
while I'm not there.
Boom. No.
That's a question a lot of couples wonder. Here's the thing. It really depends on your relationships, boundaries, and trust. Some couples are cool. Others might feel uncomfortable. What matters the most? Having an honest conversation, share your fear. The bottom line, it's less about the drink itself and more about what you both agree is respectful and trustworthy. That was kind of, it played the middle on that one.
The middle.
Let me see. I was about to type something crazy. I can't go too crazy. I ain't gonna look. Yeah. All right. All right, we're gonna leave that one alone. But yeah, all right. So what's another controversial scenario?
I have a clip.
Okay. Oh, we got clips, Island. Let me close this.
Yeah, run a clip.
I do.
All right, let's see what you got.
Where'd she go? Now, before.
Yo, Sheeta, you there? Hold up.
Let's not conflate it with
Am I
being
there?
Black. Otherwise, you'd have to defend Rachel Dolezal.
Well, there's no. Well,
Would you defend her?
Well, there's no defending crazy. That's crazy. But
Why is that
hold
crazy?
on. Because she was a white woman that said she was black.
Yeah, that's a man saying he's a woman.
But let's back up.
If you're gonna say that a man can just be a woman, why can't Rachel Dolezal just be black? You got to be consistent.
Because she's white.
Okay, because it's a man.
No, but hold on. I get it.
You know I'm right.
I get
You know
it.
I'm right.
No, I don't agree. And this is not a matter of right or wrong.
But it is.
Hold
It
on.
is. This one is.
Let me tell you.
Why isn't Rachel Dolezal black?
Because she's a white woman.
Okay, because it's a male or it's a female.
What?
I agree with Candace Owens for once in my life. And I know that might take me to a deep, dark place. But yeah.
Absolutely. Hold on, my bad.
All good. I just hit your mute. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. All right. We should be better now. Yeah, that right there is a good example of like needing to be consistent in arguments, I would say. Very, very valid.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy because he's saying like, well, you can't be black because you're white. And I kind of did a little deep dive last week, and I really don't have the wits to kind of dive into it. But like, race is a social construct. So so how is somebody definitely a thing that's a social construct? How is bacon definitely a breakfast food? Basically what he's saying.
Okay.
Social constructs. But as far as a biological construct, we can change that around. Well, you can't change cultural construct. It's like, yeah, at its core, it's just a weird argument. You gotta, if you allowing all of this, you gotta allow all of this too. Like, it's just a social construct. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah, did y'all know that? Did you guys know that race is a social construct? I didn't know that.
Nah, I didn't know. But when you said it, yeah, it makes sense.
It's a deep dive on ChatGPT one day. Just have a ball. But basically, it gets complicated. It's not.
Now that we have brought race up, it's we on them sketchy terms here. We go. But do you guys feel like racial harmony is a fantasy?
Yes, I do. And I feel that way because, how do I say it without being offensive? Maybe I should ask ChatGPT. In this country in particular, we were always seen as second-class citizens. And no matter how much the world changes, those ideas have been passed down through generations, right? So I don't think that no matter what laws go into place or how much we hold hands and sing Kumbaya, I think that even if openly you say that we're all one and so on and so forth, behind closed doors, people are still going to feel the way they feel because of the way that they were taught. Now, I don't think that means that we can't still try, but I don't think that it will ever actually happen.
Okay.
Yeah, what was the phrase you used? You said racial
harmony?
harmony.
Racial harmony. So I'm going to give an example of what racial harmony is. So
Yeah.
racial harmony would be a mutual understanding and appreciation of cultural differences, equality and justice in treatment and opportunity, open, respectful communication and cooperation, absence of racial discrimination, prejudice, and conflict, and building communities where diversity is celebrated rather than feared or suppressed. Now, that's probably a conversation we have to prepare more for. Right now, in my opinion, I don't feel like it's possible until we as a people feel like some of those wrongdoings that were afflicted to some of our ancestors were made right, the same way other subgroups were done right after they were did wrong, without going too deep and saying any specific.
You saying the quiet parts out loud.
Yeah, no, it's a little difficult. So I'll yield it there. But I feel like right now, with our current state, it would be very difficult for our subgroup to get on board with this until we feel like we're done right. Or a majority of us who do feel like we weren't done right could actually say that, that we're being done right. Let me see why is it important? Social stability, equal access to resources, culture exchange. So that's more of a deeper conversation. But yeah, racial harmony was a phrase that I came across about a week ago, and I was wondering, if it's a fantasy or a possible reality.
It might not be a fantasy, but I think the one problem that kind of comes to mind right now is this phrase would look different to everybody, because like perhaps racial harmony is black people and white people never interacting with each other and there's segregation. Perhaps that is what harmony would be like to somebody.
Wow.
Like we have harmony, which is like a boundary. We respect each other's boundaries to the point where there's a black church and a white church, black school, white school, or it is like super integrated, and you have for everyone has to date outside their race for the harmony to be it's complicated.
Extremely complicated.
Yeah. It's hard to put a button on a social construct.
There we go.
And another thing, you would have to so some black people, let's just use the African American race, just for an example. Some black people would probably ask for more equality, right? And maybe that will bring us harmony. But on the other hand, perhaps another strategy would be to take away all of these things like affirmative action and giving points or any type of accolades to the black race for the harmony. Like you can go both ways to find your own peace in this situation. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
To me, it sounds like what you're saying in a nutshell is that like racial harmony is completely subjective to the individual.
Yeah. And how to get there.
Yeah. Wow. That's a deep one. That's a deep one. Speaking of social constructs, I'm on ChatGPT and I told it to give me some examples of social constructs. The first thing it said was race. Incredible. It's listening. The second thing it says is gender roles, and then money, marriage, social class, language, and beauty standards. Wow, these are all
now that's a topic in and of itself.
For sure. So what would time be? Would time be like a man-made, not a social construct, but that's like a man-made construct, right?
If you ask AK, he will say time is a social construct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a social construct. It is.
Says ChatGPT. It is. But yeah.
So This video is kind of long, so let's not play that one. But yeah, because it's like 3 minutes long, so let's not play that one. But how about you know what? This one is kind of long, but I think it's a good watch.
Watch this and we're going to talk about it.
So I get into a lot of trouble, particularly with feminist scholars over this. They like to look at male violence and men's attitudes about women and say it's all patriarchy. And I'm not dismissing patriarchy. I'm not dismissing structural racism. But if you really want to understand how some men relate to women in terms of their attitudes and behaviors, you have to go back to their earliest childhood experiences with their mothers. And when we look at the data, particularly in Black communities on child abuse, the data tells us that the majority of the abuse and the fatalities are perpetuated by women. And so if you want to figure out why a man is a misogynist, you've got to go back to those early childhood experiences. And people don't want to have that conversation because then we have to talk about maternal violence and women's complicity in creating the very men who hate us.
An emotionally unstable mother will do more harm than an absent father. And I think now there's studies that actually backs that up. If your first source of love and nurture is emotionally unstable and unable to give you that, where do you think that will place you as a young adult? And then a lot of Black mothers in the hood are absolutely abusive in the way they talk to and handle their children. And to cuss your child out as if they was a grown adult, call them all type of B's and a-holes and you ain't shit. And, you know, a lot of the self-esteem issues come from mothers. Because instead of building up your child, you tore them down verbally. And I wonder, like, after tearing somebody down so much, how easy is it to turn around and tell them, oh, I love you. Oh, you're a good boy. Oh, you're doing great. Oh, I'm proud of you. Can you do it? Can you even do it after you use your mouth to beat them down so much? But it's not something that just affects the male population. It affects the female population as well. A lot of these women don't know how to love and nurture because they simply never got it from their own mother, from their first source of love and nurture. So a conversation needs to be had. Even if you ain't beating your kids, verbal abuse is a thing. Mental abuse is a thing. Y'all wonder why your kids are irresponsible. Have you ever took responsibility for how you dropped the ball in handling them? So we got to start at the first teacher, which is the mother. So ladies, let's get it together. And it starts with addressing it by calling it out. But as always, what are your thoughts? Like, share, follow for more.
Pretty heavy.
Sheeta, what you think?
Rashida, it's on you.
Yeah, you start this one.
I think that everything that was said is correct. And even just looking at myself, I've had to learn, like I said, I've had anger management issues. And sometimes when my kids don't listen, I crash out. And like, I might not be putting my hands on them, but I'm yelling and saying, y'all don't never listen and da-da-da-da-da. And I'll have to take a moment and say, you know what? It really wasn't that deep. Is dishes in the sink? Okay. Even though I said it 4 or 5 times. Okay. And what I do now is I apologize and I explain to them why I was wrong. I don't expect them to accept my apology because a lot of parents feel like because I said I'm sorry, that should fix it. But it doesn't always. So I've learned to apologize and explain why I feel like I was wrong. I asked them how they felt about what I did and how they feel about what I'm saying. And I always tell them, you don't have to accept it. You don't have to forgive me. But I already know I was wrong. And I feel like a lot of mothers don't do that because as mothers in society, we are looked at as this wonderful human being because we gave life. And a lot of times mothers are on the front lines doing the heavy lifting when it comes to the kids. So because of that, it's like, in a sense, we can't do any wrong. And even when we do, but that's still your mother. You only get one mother. You should love your mother. And a lot of times I've seen mothers who don't deserve it. So I feel like everything that was said was absolutely correct. A lot of times we treat our children, or especially our daughters. We treat our daughters in a certain way because there are mothers who are actually jealous of their daughters. And I feel like everything that was said was completely true. Now, it may not be true for everybody.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the grand scheme of things, they were correct in what they said.
I'm a big fan of looking back at the foundation of things. So the one thing that I did agree with was that sometimes we do have to look at the initial teacher. Now, if I could associate a gender with it, I don't know, right? But I'm a big fan of looking at the foundation of certain things or looking back at past traumas to understand why you're acting out in the way you are or why you are the way you are. I was fortunate to grow up in a really good household, and I'm very grateful that I grew up in an environment that wasn't toxic. I grew up in a very good neighborhood, which kind of seemed like its own little town. And I had a lot of people around my age that I could talk to, and we were experiencing some of these things simultaneously. Yeah, much respect. And I'm just grateful for that. I'm glad that I didn't have to experience getting barked on or screamed at or having certain things taken out on me when I wasn't the cause of certain things. Now, did I go through things? Yeah, I got stories. Trust me, I got stories. But yeah, that's the only thing I could say about that. I don't know if I have any more to give than that right there.
Like, so I got no time to be bashing women, so I'm not going to, and because I really don't even think that's the right answer. Sheeta, I understand where you're coming from, but I think there's more to it on the men's side. So yeah, whatever. Gender's a social construct. What the hell ever. It's our responsibility to be the leaders in families. And I don't mean that as like some authoritarian superiority thing. I'm just talking about the facts. Women are supposed to be nurturers. You're not supposed to be authoritarians, right? So you need the masculine leader, authoritarian, to do the discipline stuff, because we just kind of know how to do it better. And you are the nurturers. I need you to bring love and affection to the family. Now, as the leader, though, it's my responsibility to it's my responsibility to keep the ship together. In my experience, when families break up, it's usually the dude doing something crazy. Yeah, I see on the internet, there's like weird stories all the time. But my personal life, it's always been the male making decisions, either infidelity, violence, bad money person. They are usually the catalyst of them breaking up. And once they're broken up, yeah, the child usually goes to the mother. And then this happens. So I don't think it's step one of the issue. Like a woman maybe not being able to be an authoritarian could maybe be step 2 or step 3 of the problem. Step 1 is the male not keeping the family afloat. You know what I mean? Like, I got this one friend, and he just recently kind of broke up with his girl, and he basically said she crazy. I'm like, yo, they all crazy. Like, what are you talking about?
Not too much.
Not too much. I'm not saying that in some weird way. I'm just saying, like, basically the essence of a woman sometimes logically misses our heads, and that comes with all of us. But that's why he left, because like men, basically he left because men are from Mars and women are from Venus. I'm like, yeah, dude, they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's like, okay, and now we have that woman that has to step up and be the guy and the girl, the mother and the father. Now, being a mother and a father is not a social construct. How about that? But yeah, man. I mean, I got respect for the women. You guys are surviving. The children are alive and they're healthy and they're eating dinners because of you. They can't eat money. They can't eat phone calls. They can't, all that stuff is important. So yeah, I get it, but nah, man. It's time for men got to hold a higher responsibility to keep their situations that they created intact, and that's keeping the woman happy. Keep the woman happy. Keep the house happy. Keep the house happy. Kids are whatever. But yeah, it's all us. We're the CEOs, so we got to act like it.
Damn, bro.
I'm glad that you said that.
Yeah.
Because as I'm waiting for this video to upload, I want to play something and it's really addressing male accountability for what goes on in our community and what goes on in our families. And I believe it's this one.
This is gonna piss a lot of y'all off listening. What? But I just got to be very honest with it. When I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. If you in the sports, if you the leader of the team and the team loses, they gonna come at you, right? Because you the leader. You the quarterback. If we the leader of the community and if black women are so out of control, or modern women are so out of control, then ain't that on us? Yeah. Like, didn't we drop the ball some fucking where? Because when I think about it, like, we are the least, if we're just talking about black men and black women, we are less educated than them. Yeah. And it's getting to the point where we even starting to make less money than them. Yeah. I don't think we even in a fucking position to hold them accountable. Hold each other accountable. Let them hold each other accountable, and then we kind of come back and meet in the middle.
Exactly.
Heavy. Yeah, heavy.
And I couldn't find that original video because the lady walking across the stream with the screen was pissing me off. Yeah. But I thought that was really interesting, of a really interesting perspective from a man, instead of women always saying da 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 da. Yeah, it's a different perspective from a man.
Yeah. No, yeah, I see men do horrible. I mean, I talk to men, outside of the podcast, and we're just being honest with each other. And a lot of them make a lot of mistakes, and they're ruining the initial relationship, the yin and the yang, the man and the wife, or the boyfriend and the girlfriend. That's the first thing you got to keep together. That's the only thing you got to really worry about. You worry about that. Worry about that woman. Worry about that golden goose. Worry about that woman. And then all the kids and the house and dude, worry about the one. And let the nurturer nurture everything under it. It's a system as old as time. And then we want to, go to a bar and meet up with random women and then tear it all up and then somehow blame the woman for how the child is 10, 15 years down the line. And it's like, dude, it started with you not just keeping good to one. You worry about all this shit. Worry about the one. Worry about the mother of your children. Love that woman. And I swear to God, a lot of things are going to fall into place. She's going to take care of shit for you.
So would you say that it's the man's job to nurture his woman so she can nurture everything else?
Yes.
Okay.
Hell yeah. That's our job. Now, obviously, you got to nurture her, but there's also like a concrete thing you got to do too. There's a monetary thing you got to handle. There's just general, household things you got to handle. And then there's the fact of, keeping your relationship sacred, no matter what that is. Like if you guys are in something open, honor that. If you guys are exclusive, honor that. Just honor it. Be honorable, be trustworthy. But yeah, you have to, and nurture her. You got to nurture her just like she nurtures the kids. Women need love. They need to feel loved. Unfortunately, they got to feel loved 17 hours out of the day. Now that takes a lot of time to master. And there's sleep for 8. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not true.
The math.
That's
the math.
I've never met a woman that slept for 8 hours a day. Never, especially if she has children.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what? To your point, I feel like this was something that we talked about a while ago, Chaotic. When you're in any relationship, y'all are partners. Like I feel like the man is the head, but the woman is the neck. And if y'all don't work together cohesively, your whole body is out of whack.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good example of a metaphor. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Actually, I like that. Yeah.
And you know what I think, and I could be wrong. I think that there are men who don't know the difference between leading and controlling. And those are two totally different things.
Yes. Yeah. And if I could speak to that real quick, in any situation I'm in, if I'm delegating, right, the person I'm with needs to understand that the foundation of this delegation is safety, to protect. And once we're able to get that clear, it'll come across. Like, for instance, if you have a girl or a shorty or whatever, you would like for her to be in the house at a certain time. Now, it's not because you're insecure, it's not because you're jealous, it's because you understand what's outside. You know, the average man, in my opinion, would rather his girl not accept drinks from men at the bar. Why? Accessibility. You don't open the door for certain things to happen. So I feel like once you're able to get across that, look, my delegation is coming from a place of love and protection and security and safety, it becomes a little easier to divide that line between, oh, you're just trying to be controlling. No, I'm trying to protect you, trying to protect us, right? And there's certain things I wouldn't do because I'm trying to echo the same sentiment on my end, for sure.
And you can't expect, if she doesn't have the mindset to understand it, you're wasting your time and energy. You need to find somebody that is willing to accept that kind of protection, because like you said, that's what it is.
And I would
not
say
everybody can.
So just speaking from experience, I'm in a very long-term relationship. There, no matter how much protection and how much security and how much trust you put into something, they will not listen to everything. They will not. It is still men, and it's our responsibility to ride this ship over the storm every fucking time.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. She's like, well, you got to find somebody. Okay, I get it. Or you be a man and you ride this storm again and again and again.
I was scared where you was going with that, but okay.
You ride the storm and the storm's in, and but there's gonna be another one because it's storms. It's always gonna rain outside. Nothing's ever gonna be perfect, but you guys gotta understand. I tell my wife this every month, and I swear it's a little ridiculous that I gotta tell her this every month, but it works. I tell her, look, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. She needs to be reminded sometimes. I don't know. I don't understand that. I don't understand how that she needs to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, more of this, but whatever. It's like, you got to be there no matter what. This shit ain't sweet. Shit's gangster, man. Marriage is gangster.
I like that. Marriage
but you
is
know what?
Yeah.
That's why I don't think I'll ever do it again, because I really, really value marriage and I hold it in high regard. Hey, nephew, he's so handsome.
Hey.
But I really do. And when you say I do, you're saying no matter what, I'm staying. And there are some instances where you're like, all right, it's time to get up and go. But for the most part, you're saying no matter what, I'm willing to work through the issues that we're having with, with exceptions, and you know what they are. But for the most part, are you talking to us?
Nah, he got us on mute. He's aware.
Okay. I think he was.
Yeah. So my only thing is like my lines are really like infidelity and violence.
Okay. Okay.
But you know what? If the two of y'all are willing to really, really work at it, I do feel like you can get past infidelity.
Yeah, chronic infidelity is what I'm really referring to. You know what I'm saying? Because things happen and people learn or whatever. But if you just living with somebody for 5 years and he's just living a lie, you know what I mean? That's too much. That's too much. But nah, all this men, basically people breaking up because men are from Mars and women are from Venus. That's crazy. That's why we take trips to Venus. We like that shit.
And that's why you need each other. I get so sick and tired of hearing why men ain't shit and why women ain't shit. If I see somebody post if I see you post two statuses like that, I'm just going to delete you, because men need women, women need men. We can't coexist without we don't exist without each other.
Facts.
It's impossible. So, and like I always say, you take you everywhere you go. So if you keep running into a certain type of man that's trash, maybe it's the places you're going. Maybe it's the way you're dressing. Maybe it's how you present yourself. Maybe it's the way you speak. So, it might just be you.
So hold up, Rashid, I got a question. So let's say you have a boyfriend or, husband, whatever you want to call it, right? Someone you're serious about. You guys are exclusive. You're going out without him. You send him a picture of yourself. He sees your outfit and he says, I don't think you should wear that. How do you respond?
I change. I've had this situation. I'll change.
All right. Okay.
Now, like you said, if it's somebody I'm serious about, absolutely, because your opinion matters to me. And when I am outside, if we are in a serious situation, I'm representing you as well. I don't want to be somewhere and somebody like, damn, look how she look. And because that's embarrassing to him. So when I'm outside, I'm representing the two of us, and I'm going to make sure that the way I'm presenting myself is okay with you.
Very, very well worded. And that's kind of what I wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, what I was supposed to say, I ain't got no argument debate. That's what it is, and that's kind of what we need. And then it's like I said, as long as ladies understand that this delegation is coming from a place of love, you don't got to call your man insecure every time you disagree with him, or call him a bitch, whatever you call him, whatever. We hate when that happens. I'm saying, oh, you just insecure. No, I maybe I trust you, but I don't trust the world. Maybe I understand that when you're dressed a certain way. I'll put it to you like this: a woman could walk in a room fully clothed, right? And if she has the right aura, she will command the room better than that girl over there with her titties out. There's nothing like a sharp, intelligent, fine woman. And it doesn't have to be titties out, boobs out. Look at what I got here. Like, there's different ways that you could command the room and gain the respect of men without having to throw your body out. Now, you could throw your body out there. You're just going to attract a different type of energy, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I just got to put that out there for the good people out there in the world.
You're definitely going to get the attraction of the boys, maybe not the men.
Ooh, you done said something right there.
Yo, Shaka been potting. Shaka been potting today.
Maybe the boys. The boys. Oh yeah.
And you know what? Some women are looking for that. Some women are. They're not interested in having anything else. They're not interested in having anything else. They don't want nothing serious. So they're okay with being lusted after all the time. Just like I'm talking about with we were talking about earlier with the BBLs and getting your body done. Some women just crave that because they are insecure.
Right.
Okay.
So some people, that's just what it is. And I mean, after a certain age, it ain't even, it's like, whatever. All right. That becomes less important. But I think that's just what it is. That's just my opinion. Y'all ain't got to listen to me.
Well, nah, we here for it, girl.
Yeah, we definitely here for it. And that was definitely well received. As far as look, we at the hour 40-minute mark. That's usually where we wrap it up.
This flew by. It was a good show, brother.
Nah, this was good, yo. And I like how we addressed the topics. We got into some real talk. It was clear. The etiquette was good. Audio was clear. We're getting better at this thing. Nice and clean. But any final things you guys want to converse about before we wrap it up?
I just have one black phrase. That's it.
Hey.
Why? What was that sound for?
Nah, like it's I haven't gotten one of these in a while, so it was like satisfying. Yeah, bring it on.
Okay, because I think I've done all the other ones. White people, don't do that. Black people,
do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was clear. Yeah, that's definitely do it again.
Do it again. I think every black parent has said that.
Absolutely.
Oh man. And you know what? I put this one up here, and not one of y'all
Uh-oh.
got it right.
Let me see.
Y'all always say the wrong thing. Getting hurt after doing something you shouldn't.
Good for you. Or
Yeah. Yeah, good for your ass. Good for you.
yeah, good for your ass.
Or
Yeah.
it was good. Good. I touched the stove and it burnt me. Good.
Good.
So when I put that up here, Charmaine's answer was go fuck yourself. Who says that to a kid? Who says that? Oh,
Hell of a
my God.
household.
And this is the other one that goes along with it. A
Let me see.
warning before doing something you shouldn't.
It's too many letters. I don't know.
Let me see. A. Hold on. Let me give us like 30 seconds. Hold up.
Okay.
Warning before doing something you shouldn't.
Or even doing something after. A response after you did something you shouldn't.
What's the first letter? What's
A?
But like, what's the word?
Yeah.
A.
A
Hard.
hard head makes a soft ass.
Yeah,
Boom.
there you go. Boom. Yep.
Yeah, I remember hearing that phrase growing up and never being able to understand it. Like, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it.
You'll get your ass beat if you don't listen.
Yeah.
Or you gonna get hurt. One of the two.
See,
Yeah,
I thought you were being smart with me. I was like, what the A mean?
No.
Me A.
Mhm.
I ain't getting you no help. Like, damn.
No.
See if I can-
Absolutely not. Did
hey,
y'all know?
if I could, how was your guys' 4th of July? Did you guys celebrate? Did you guys do anything?
So for me, I don't necessarily celebrate the 4th of July for a myriad of reasons, but it's just another day off to spend time with the family, pretty much. And even then, I didn't have off that good time and a half, so I was going to work. But for us, I signed, and I tell everybody about this. I signed my kids up. It's called, for a program, it's called Kids Bowl Free. And every single day of the summer, they can go to a specific bowling alley and they bowl 2 free games every single day of the summer. Now, my bowling alley, it does it from May the 1st until September the 30th. So if we wanted to go every single day, we could go and bowl 2 free games every single day. The only thing you have to pay for is their bowling shoes. And it's at my bowling alley, it's like $5 a pair. And we can only go between 12 and 6. But other than that, that's what we did. And we actually ended up going to a free concert in the park. My kids are old, so they old souls, so they like oldies. And the Spinners were at the park in Camden, so we did that too. And then I just relaxed until I went to work.
Nice. Sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. Shock. Did you get into anything for the 4th, brother?
Yeah, I just hung out with my in-laws. They have a really special way to celebrate. Their patriarch, my wife's grandfather, he passed away about 5 years ago, but his birthday is July 4th.
Oh.
So I would say for the past 15, 20 years, their family gets together and has his birthday party. It's a barbecue. There's a lot of red, white, and blue. There's fireworks, but it's his birthday party, and that's kind of how they do it. And now this is his heavenly birthday, and they still get together, and it's a birthday party for him. But yeah, it's July 4th, so there's naturally July 4th stuff around for sure.
I love that.
Yeah, I like it too. It's like, yeah, it's cool, definitely cool.
And you know why I feel like that's cool? Because it shows the type of person, the type of man he was. Because if he was a trash man, they wouldn't even do it.
Wouldn't even do it. Yeah, he was one of one. No need to get too sentimental, but actually, I have his ring on.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is his. This is PH Holloway's ring. So yeah, rest in peace to him. Yep.
I love that.
I love it too.
No, that's actually dope. And that's another thing that we'll talk about next episode. Let's talk about like positive male figures like in the families and how that ripples through the family. And then we could even talk about transgressing into that role as we become older. You know, we start to have, you know, the dynamic of the family changes as us young men get older. We start to have a little more say. We start to get a little more respect, especially if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. So I definitely want to talk about that in future episodes. As far as the fourth, we add to the stage my view. Right. So hold up. First off, let me put the right logo up. Shout out to Billy Green. I just put his logo up in the upper right hand corner. Shout out to True Water Rolling Papers. Get your roll on. You know what I'm saying? So I went to Ocean Fest in Long Branch. And here's just a view, one of the views that I had of the rocks in the ocean. And I turn around and let you guys see kind of like what's going on. The beach was packed. This was Ocean Fest. Yeah, this is Ocean Fest out in Long Branch, New Jersey, exit 105. They do it every year for the 4th of July. My shorty that I was with, she had a beach tent, and that changed the whole dynamic of going to the beach.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yes, it does.
Changes everything.
Everything.
Everything. The whole
Makes it way more enjoyable.
Come on now. The sun ain't beaming on you. You could get your privacy. You could open the flaps, let the wind in, close it out, roll up, lay up, take a nap, or whatever you want. But I highly recommend getting a beach tent if you plan on going to the beach. It's great for the kids. It's great for if you got a one-on-one. They got them up to hold up to like 6 people. So there's all sorts of things you could do. Highly recommend it. The experience was one to remember, I would say. Shout out to you.
My man.
It'll change the whole dynamic.
You're nasty.
It's like, look, man, it was definitely fireworks. You heard? It was fire. It was fire. But y'all, that's all I got for this week's episode, man. I appreciate y'all rocking out. Great conversation as per usual. And shit, any closing statements from you guys? The world is yours.
Yeah, I'm about to jump on you real quick. Sir, him.
Yeah.
You at some point we are going to have to get a logo so we can put some merch out there.
No, there is one.
No, it's a Keep It On Wax. But we just got to get a broad, nothing left to do but win.
Yeah, that is.
Because you know what? We out here. I used in the colder months, I wear my Keep It On Wax, and people ask about it all the time. Yeah, this is our podcast. Go subscribe. Go watch it. See what you think about it. Let me know.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you in front of everybody. Okay.
All right.
Now. So don't say you forgot or you didn't hear me, because we all heard me.
Nah, we're definitely long overdue for the logo, and now I feel like I have an understanding of what Nothing Left to Do But Win is. So you have my word. I'll get it done immediately.
Because if you don't, I'm gonna just come find you. I'm gonna pull up on you.
Just run it through AI, dog.
Yeah, I got ChatGPT right here. I'm gonna throw in a couple things and come up with, yeah. You know what? That's what I'll do. There's really no excuse. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the creator of the Keep It On Wax logo, my guy Lyle Omalayo, coming straight out of Plainfield, New Jersey. He designed this logo for me, and
I love his content.
Oh yeah, Lyle. Shout out to Lyle Omalayo. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely going to get him back on a platform. We actually are working on a 5-track EP. Me and Jay Ness also have a 5-track EP called Chaotic Dollar. And let me see if I could really quickly, import a song or two, right? So I could play it on the outro. But yeah, a lot of music things going on. Just give me a second, y'all. 1 second. All right, we are on Drive. All right. I'm gonna try to import it right now. I'm gonna just try to give us a song, one of the songs off the upcoming project. Here we go.
while you're doing that, you enjoyed your week?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. This has been one of the best weeks for me. I had PTO'd off of work just so that I could get away from that job. And it's been really, really good for me mentally. It's been really good. Just having a week where I don't have to worry about the job. Like I have 1 week where I could focus on my life. All right, yeah, I'm definitely got a song coming in that I could close out with. Yeah.
Oh, Shaka, next weekend. I'm going to the Pew Pew show.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna go get me something.
That's what's up. I'm
excited about it.
I say bring about $350 to $400 just to be safe. Have fun. Just try them out. Tell them you don't know what you're doing. I'm sure they love to create a gun nut. Like, oh, you don't know nothing about guns? Oh, they want to be that person to kind of like put you on. So like, yeah, I don't know anything about it. Tell them what you want it for. Tell them what you can't do, cannot do, whatever. They'll put you in the right place. I guarantee it.
I'm excited.
Yeah. That's what's up.
All right. And all right, good people. Once again, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna close out the show. Appreciate you, Rashida. Thank you for everything. And we are definitely gonna start working on your platform. And Shaka, thank you as per usual. You was podding today, my nigga. You was podding. All right, I'm gonna close out with a track off of a project me and Jay Ness have coming out. It's called Chaotic Dollar. Executive produced by me. It's already done. The album is done. We've been working. This song is called Nothing Basic, and I appreciate you. I'm gonna play it now.
What? Baby, I'm on fire. What? Baby, I'm on fire. What? Yeah, I'm a paper chaser. Keep a Glock, that's my fire. Don't do nothing basic. Hit the block, move the fire. Shorty say I'm dangerous. In the drop with the fire, get me switching lanes. Fuck the suckers and the lies. I'm a paper chaser. Keep a Glock, that's my fire. Don't do nothing basic. Hit the block, move the fire. Shorty say I'm dangerous. In the drop with the fire, get me switching lanes. Fuck the suckers. Listen, the suckers wanna clap me, ladies wanna fuck though. I'm dreaming about the range, Giovanni's on the truck though. Ride with the fire, can't get hit with the pump. I get slow, pop out, fist in the air like Trump. Okay, I'm focused on these digits, won't get caught on dummy missions. She just suck it, I don't kiss her, I just fuck her, I don't lick her. Pour the liquor for the homies that ain't make it, and keep that fuck shit from around me. It's contagious, baby. I'm on fire, blowing gasoline, Exxon in my blunt, wrist look like Sunny D. I'm grinding, a couple packs in the trunk with a 9-liter dump. I hit the cord and get it jumping like Mac McClung. I'm a paper chaser, keep a Glock, that's my fire. Don't do nothing basic. Hit the block, move the fire. Shorty say I'm dangerous. In the drop with the fire, catch me switching lanes. Fuck the suckers and the lies. I'm a paper chaser, keep a Glock, that's my fire. Don't do nothing basic. Hit the block.